Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything Podcast. I am your host, Chuck Manatee. And in today's episode, we are going to be covering something a little bit different, something a little bit more leaning towards the indie genre. But the movie in question is actually called Werewolves, and the trailer dropped about a day ago. So basically, Werewolves is an upcoming American action horror thriller film directed and co-produced by Stephen C. Miller and written by Matthew Kennedy. It's produced by Miles Nistel, Craig Chapman, and Stephen C. Miller as well. So the premise for this is a supermoon event triggers a gene that every human being on the planet can transform into a werewolf for one specific night. So the cast for this is Frank Grillo. You might know him from you might know him from Captain America Winter Soldier, as well as Captain America Civil War. So he played Brock Rumlow, or Crossbones. So you see when his face gets disfigured in Civil War, he has this arm that is mechanical. He actually put up a pretty decent fight if you think about it against Cap, but he didn't win said fight. But he's been in a bunch of movies like Warrior, The Grey, End of Watch, Zero, Dark 30, Wheelman, Boss Level. So yeah, he's been in quite a bit of movies. So moving on to the next one. Frank Grillo plays Wesley Marshall, just by the way. Then Katrina Law is Dr. Amy Chen. So she's been in a CW series called Arrow, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. And then she's also been in Hawaii 5-0 and NCIS and all the crossovers with NCIS Hawaii and so on. She's been in quite a few different series for the most part. And then there's Ilfanesh Hadera, and she's playing Lucy Marshall. So she's actually been in a few series as well, so mostly series. So The Brick, Blacklist, Old Boy, Show Me a Hero, Chirac, Chicago Fire, which is quite popular. I know a lot of people who watch that. Not me though. The Punisher, and She's Gotta Have It. And then she was also Stephanie Holden in Baywatch. There's a bit of info on her. But the last person I want to talk about is Lo Diamond Phillips. He's playing Dr. Aranda. And I haven't seen this guy for a while. And that's why I say I might have missed him with some of these shows, some of the series that, really doesn't tickle my fancy. But I mean, some of them are popular. But where I know him from is actually a movie called La Bamba, where he played Richie Valens. So he did quite a bit in the older days, Young Guns 2. So that was something that he was in back in the day. 2000s, he was in a show with George Lopez as well. And then also a series with called Numbers. So he's been in a few odds and sods, like a cameo role with Harrison Ford in a show movie called Hollywood Homicide, which is actually like a sort of action comedy kind of thing. So he's been in a lot of things, but he hasn't been in some like crazy big things through the years. Like the earlier days, but of late, relatively quiet. And when I saw his face, I'm like, hold on a second, I know this guy. I mean, he's already, 62 at the moment? So yeah, he's born in 62, born in 1962, which is actually quite awesome. So 62, born in 62, nice. Yeah, but that's the cast. The production house for this, like I said earlier, is, well, actually no. Let me actually go through this first, and then you guys will see what I'm talking about. So, production-wise, in June 2022, a horror thriller film directed and co-produced by Stephen C. Miller, originally titled Year 2, had begun principal photography in Puerto Rico, with Matthew Kennedy writing the screenplay, Frank Grillo, Katrina Law, Ilfanesha Dera, and then a person I couldn't find at all, James Michael Cummings, couldn't find anything on him, but he's playing Cody Walker. So, and then obviously Lowe Diamond Phillips rounded out the main cast. So in February 2024, the film had been retitled to Werewolves, which I kind of like. It's very simple, to the point. And that C. Miller announced the post-production had been close to completion. So the release, Werewolves, is scheduled to be released in the United States by Briarcliff Entertainment on December 6, 2024. So that's what I wanted to go through with you guys, is a little bit about Briarcliff. So yeah, they've done a few cool things, and there is a point to what I'm saying here. So Honest Thief and Blacklight, that was with Liam Neeson. Cop Shop with Gerard Butler. There was actually something that was done with, they wanted, well, a few months later it was announced they would acquire Magazine Dreams. That was a Sundance hit that was actually dropped by Searchlight Pictures, and that's following the controversy surrounding Jonathan Majors, who you probably remember from Loki. He played Kang. And there was this whole big thing that he would actually be doing, there's a whole thing from Marvel, like to say, okay, cool, they're going to be doing a whole bunch of Kang stuff, but that never happened. And there's a good one actually from them called Kandahar with Gerard Butler. I actually really enjoyed that, so if you haven't seen that, Kandahar, very, very good. And then Studio 666, that's a 2022 horror comedy, basically surrounding Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters and so on. That was okay. I'm not gonna, I love the Foo Fighters, so it's kind of hard to, throw the movie under the bus, but it was weird. I suppose it's a fun watch for some, but I personally couldn't get through that one, but Dave Grohl and Foo Fighters still an epic band. But yeah, that's basically it for just the trailer chat. But now it is time for the trailer. So, without any further ado, here's the trailer for Werewolves.
Hey! Bite me!
Mom?
Uncle Wes, why can't you stay?
They need me to help them try and stop this. We're the only family we have left.
We got this.
Cody! What are you doing, man? You should kill somebody.
We are all soldiers now. Tonight, when that sun sets, it's gonna be every man for himself.
We have a 9-hour window to test and report our findings. We hope to see if this mutation can be blocked.
Let's go over the rules.
Don't open the door for anyone.
Don't hesitate for a second.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Hoorah!
Good luck tonight.
Canopy retraction commencing.
No more guns, no more guards. Those things are coming for us.
I'm here.
Bite me!
And that was the trailer for Werewolves. So just a few bits and bobs to take away from this. So you can see it's definitely not a very, very crazy high budget movie. I think horrors should always go for that, just generally speaking. I can think of a lot of horrors that didn't really have a crazy budget, but they just really did well with what they had. Yeah, I mean, look, if the movie does really well, then, you know, maybe a sequel, although this year has been way too many sequels and prequels for my liking. But just generally speaking, like, I mean, if you did well with a movie, and then you could, you know, just extend the budget a little bit and carry on with the story if it needs to be told. That's the important part. Don't just, you know, cash grabs in the story for the sake of finances kind of kills art for me. So yeah, I think they must just stick to what they're doing. If there is a reason for a story, then cool, you know, if it's successful, then you carry on from there. But yeah, there's a few pieces in the trailer that I liked. It looks very sort of action-packed, thrilling. There's two pieces that like stand out for me. The one is where you see that they kind of putting what they think are going to be werewolf people in cages with these locks around their neck, and that's obviously supposed to hold them. I can't imagine that works out too well. I mean, otherwise the story wouldn't be working. It wouldn't be a horror if they just everyone that was supposed to be a werewolf just gets chained up and, you know, the next day everything's fine. So I don't think that's going to last, but it looks pretty cool with the transformations. You know, considering the low budgets, I can't imagine this. I try to look for a budget, I can't find anything, but I can't imagine this having a crazy budget. But it's still fun. Like it's good enough to pass the sniff test, and it will be a lot of fun to watch. It looks like they've set up a cool story as well, from what I can see. And then the second piece is the little girl at the end with her flashlight. You know, set kind of like that thrilling thing where you can only see, like those games you used to play where you kind of flash a light around and you can't see outside of where that flashlight is shining. It kind of creates a bit of suspense. Oh yes, and in the beginning, before I forget, where you hear that lady calling out for her mom, and then you just hear that, you know, that werewolf sound, but you can't see anything into the dark, which is really, really trippy. That part got me, and that's why I was like, okay, cool. I'm definitely going to talk about this because I think everyone would potentially enjoy it. If you like horrors, if you don't, then obviously this probably won't be for you. And as she's sort of tracking back, you see her mom, I would imagine it's her mom, that is now turned into the werewolf, which she hasn't caught sight of as yet. So yeah, it's those kind of things when you're doing horror that for me, that's where horror lies, is in the way you shoot it and kind of how you present it. That will make it either really good or just really, you know, boring, where you're kind of watching a horror that's not even scary or anything. So yeah, but that's my thoughts. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, so please do put that in the comment section. Let me know if you guys are excited for this. Like I said, it's coming out on December 6th, 2024. So if you are excited for it, please do let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's review, please do also put that in the comments below, as well as showing us some love by liking, sharing, and subscribing. But that is it for today's episode of the Everything Podcast, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.